The GameCube has always been one of my favorite consoles of all time, and being that my family was mostly stuck on Nintendo growing up, they somehow allowed me to spend most of my savings on a Nintendo GameCube, an extra controller, and Super Smash Bros. Melee shortly after the system launched. I was a broke and very stupid child and traded in a majority of my GameCube games back in the day. I did hold on to some of them, like Soul Calibur 2, all the Zelda titles, and then some weird stuff like Go-Go Hyper Grind, which is now like really expensive. But recently at the Midwest Gaming Classic in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, I discovered a new device that sort of reignited that love that I originally had for the Nintendo GameCube. I'm Zian from Nintendo Life, and today we're taking a look at the GCHD Mk-II, an HDMI and component adapter for the Nintendo GameCube. It utilizes the digital AV out port on the first generation of GameCubes and can output a clean, crisp, and lag-free 480p image versus the muddy 480i image you get by using a standard AV cable. This device has been on the market for some time now, but after chatting with EON at the Midwest Gaming Classic, they decided to send one over to us so we could put it to the test and put together this video to show off just how well and how easy it is to get it running on your very own GameCube. We do want to quick point out that you'll want to make sure that your GameCube is an original model 001. As with the later models of the GameCube, Nintendo removed the digital AV out port to cut costs, and you do need that in order to use this adapter. So inside the fancy little GameCube style box, you'll get a handy little instruction sheet and the device itself. And like I mentioned before, installing the device is extremely easy. You want to make sure your system is first turned off, and then simply unplug your existing AV cable and pop this bad boy into the back. Make sure it's nice and snug, then go ahead and attach your HDMI cable. Connect that to your TV, and voila, you're basically ready to go. The last thing you'll need to do is to make sure to hold down the B button on your controller when booting up a game. This will bring up the prompt to switch over to progressive scan mode, which displays in 480p. If a game doesn't prompt any menu, it likely doesn't support this feature. Around 200 games in the US and Japan are progressive scan compatible, but unfortunately, the PAL compatible list is much smaller. You can still play all of your other games just fine with this adapter, but they're only going to display in 480i. And the GCHD adapter doesn't upscale your image either, so you don't have to worry about any lag affecting your game. So if you're a big Melee player, you won't have anything to worry about playing with this adapter. If you'd like to tweak any of the settings yourself, you can open up a special menu by using a standard TV remote. Just push the button on the back of the adapter, point the remote at the glowing red auxiliary port, and follow the on-screen commands. You can adjust a number of settings within this screen, and you can even add scan lines if that's something you prefer. The adapter will work with most standard television remotes, but it took me trying out a few different ones until I actually did find one that worked. And if you still have a Wii U gamepad laying around, it'll also work with that too. Just make sure it still has a little juice left in it before giving it a shot.
Excuse me, you keep calling this the Mk-II, so are you going to tell us what the difference is between that and the Mk-I? Is there even a Mk-I? This is the worst video I've ever seen in my life! Where's Alex?
Unique to the Mk-II is a Wii component and S-cart port. So if you'd like to stick to using the old-fashioned RGB cables from the Wii and avoid the high cost of the GameCube's official set, then you've got that option too. And right next to it is a 3.5mm analog and optical digital audio jack. This allows you to output audio to either a stereo, speaker, or even a headset if you prefer. The adapter is also available in a wide variety of colors, so you can pick one to match your system. So right now on the screen, you can see on the left side, we have the GameCube running through AV on the HD TV with no extra settings. And then on the right side, we have the GameCube running through HDMI with the GCHD Mk-II adapter, also with no extra settings running. Now, if we go ahead and compare these two videos, you'll be able to see that the GCHD Mk-II not only cleans up the visuals considerably, and it may be hard to tell with what we currently have on screen, but it actually adds a lot more color and brightness to the image as well. When I was playing through Metroid Prime for footage, I actually had a much easier time playing with the adapter, as it felt kind of like there was a fog on the screen. It was really hard to see everything, and like I said before, it was very muddy. And then when I went ahead and used the adapter, it cleaned up everything considerably. Occasionally, you'll notice that certain textures just don't look as great as others, but that's really going to vary from game to game. Character models and background environments normally look pretty sharp, but sometimes menus and certain textures can look a little rough around the edges. Specifically, like a lot of the items in Animal Crossing in your home menu,
If you tried to use a GameCube on an original tube TV with an AV cable, it probably wouldn't look so bad, but whenever you're trying to use an AV cable on an HD TV like this, it's just gonna look like trash. This device is also a complete game changer when it comes to capturing footage as well. The AV capture footage, in my opinion, is almost unusable. Overall, we're extremely pleased with EON's alternative. Tracking down an original GameCube component cable isn't cheap, and while the GCHD Mk-II may also set you back a pretty penny, we feel it's the better choice for anyone looking to get the best picture quality out of their GameCube. The GCHD Mk-II from EON is available currently for $149.99 US, and if you're interested in picking one up for yourself, we'll leave a link for you in the description down below. And if you use the promo code NLIFE when you check out, you'll nab yourself an extra 20% off.
EON has also just announced that they are actually working on an HDMI device for the Nintendo 64 as well. So keep your eyes peeled to NintendoLife.com and our YouTube channel for a video on that later down the road. Feel free to let us know what you think about this device in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, why don't you plug an HDMI cable into that like button, subscribe to Nintendo Life, and ring that notification bell to be notified whenever we release new videos. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Zion from Nintendo Life, and we'll see you next time. Appeal to NintendoLife.com and our YouTube video. Wow.
Ah, yeah, my nephew Zion, he works for that, he does those YouTube videos. Oh, he's terrible.